Alright guys, so we've got more week 9 action. DPP OU this time, PttP versus Kevin Garrett. Both these guys should be well known for what they've done. What am I trying to say? Both these guys are pretty well known, as they should be. So, no team preview, so no other further introductions needed. And let's go ahead and get it in. So, lead Zapdos from PttP. And got Lead Zapdos versus Lead Zapdos. I hope this isn't another meme game where they bring with the same team or something. We'll see. So Thunderbolts comes out, and there's another Thunderbolt. So that's like FizzDef Zapdos from Kevin Garrett and Specs from PttP. I think. I have no idea. Like, I'm not, well, I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not 100% certain. So don't take my word for, like, absolute truth, but that's what I believe it is, just based on those Thunderbolt rules. And the chat has been moderated, so I guess we'll never find out, because I don't really feel like calcing, because I am lazy. So Metagross, Blissey comes in, then Metagross comes into that, off of a U-turn from PttP, so I guess the Specs option has been ruled out. Magnet is still a possibility, though. And Metagross is just going to set up rocks. Ooh, Weavile's going to be revealed. Nice. Weavile's hella underrated in DPP because of the prevalence of Tyranitar being the more popular pursuit trapper. And ice types not really being that common in general. Plus hazards are like a big deal in DPP, so Weavile's hazard weakness is not very popular, but its positive attributes I think are very good, but you have to support it correctly. It's not like an ORAS where you just slap Weavile on offense and then you're good. But Kevin Garrett is the infamous Hydro Pump T-Wave Starmie, and Weavile's gonna get got. Night Slash goes off. Paralysis happens, so it looks like Weavile's dead, but Hydro Pump heads out to left field, and Kevin Garrett probably doesn't have another move that can KO Weavile, so he's able to keep hazards off the field at the very least, but that's at the cost of losing a Starmie. And now, granted, PttP loses his Weavile, but depending on what Kevin Garrett has, that trade's looking pretty good for him. Plus, he's going to keep Weavile anyway for Death Fodder. Pretty smart play. Reveal a Starmie of his own on the spike. So Kevin Garrett tried to take advantage of the Weavile to lay down a spike, but PttP is not going to let him. And Kevin Garrett's going to reveal a T-Tar right here, so this is looking like some Kevin Garrett balance, maybe stalled, depending on what the last is. But yeah, it's also a Fat Starmie from PttP, because otherwise Pursuit would have KO'd. Assuming that that's Scarf Tar, of course. Standard Scarf Tar. It could be some weird zero attack Tar with Pursuit, because that is a thing that I've used before, and that is not unheard of. But yeah, Metagross is going to come in. Rocks go up. Ooh, this is nice. Iron Ball Metagross. That's something that's not seen too often outside of Wi-Fi, but it's definitely there now. Skarmory is not free, and then there's Hippowdon. Yeah, this is definitely stall from Kevin Garrett, so losing Starmie could be a biggie, especially if there's, well, we know that it's not offensive Starmie from PttP, but if he has some other type of water, like Suicune or something, then things could get a little rough, especially if it's like Crocoon or CM Roar. We'll see. We know there isn't a ghost, so Kevin Garrett is pretty. I don't know why he doesn't rock here, because I feel like Rapid Spin is pretty obvious. So you might as well just rock, get your rocks up, and then like Starmie dies. I mean, at the same time, you could say, you know, if he goes for Hydro, then it's not worth letting Hippowdon get weakened to that point. To which, yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I agree with Kevin Garrett's play. Never mind then. especially because threat of something like a Gyarados. There's the water I was talking about. The threat of Gyarados is real. Now Gyarados is faster than Scarftar, assuming that this isn't some shitty Gyarados that you find on the ladder every now and then. But no, this should be a good Gyarados. And there's +1, and there's Waterfall, and unless that's Fizdef Scarm, which is not the most common set, then I don't know how Kevin Garrett's going to deal with it. I mean, even if it's Spadef, it might be able to take one Waterfall, but then it's weak. And then, yeah, there's also EQ, and now it's been Iron Balled, but that Scarm is probably Fizdef, I think, because I think Spadef would have taken more from a +1 EQ. But now Skarmory is low, it's at 15%, no lefties, keep in mind, and also no rocks to go up, so at this point Skarm is as good as death fodder, so even though Kevin Garrett has the 4-3 advantage, things are not looking too good for him, especially because now Metagross is a potential problem. He heat waves for no reason. Like, what's that heat wave doing to Hippowdon? Like, real talk, if you're gonna go for a play like that, I guess it's a nice mid-ground if Skarmory wanted to stay in and to hit Hippowdon for a little bit of damage, but like realistically, Bliss is going to be the switch in, not Hippo. So it's T-Wave Bliss, so the Yellow Magic has been released. Unfortunately, Metagross threatens this out, and Skarmory is now in its Death Fodder role. Goes to Hippowdon. I don't really think I agree with that. Because, yeah, Hippowdon's going to take 40, and if a crit happened, that would have been bad news bears for Kevin Garrett. Either way, though, now he has to still play with crits because, yeah, that does a lot. And then if this Metagross gets an attack boost, which it does right there, the bears are still bad news. Like I said, I think that you just Death Fodder Skarmory right there. Because now EQ comes out. Does 53. Hippowdon doesn't die right there. Wow. And you saw rocks, you saw trick, so Meteor Mash, and then I think the last move was Earthquake. So I don't think there's a Bullet Punch. So another attack boost, but Hippowdon's able to live to see another day. But Hippowdon probably just EQs right there. Yeah, there it goes. If Kevin Garrett went for Slack Off right there, then he would have been an apostle, like Jesus, certified talk to Jesus right there. But yeah, there's no more Hippowdon pretty much. Hippowdon's pretty low and it can't really slack off at this point. And now there's Skarmory being death foddered off. And I don't really agree with how he played that particular sequence. But the good news is that Scarftar is in a very strong position to succeed depending on what the last is. And Metagross is also at a half health, I believe. I tried to see what health it was because I keep putting my mouse cursor over to, because I think it'll tell me, but I know it won't. I should know that by now. Also, Blissey is a thing. Like, Blissey can outfat a lot of things, unless the last is something like SD Lucario with Bullet Punch, then I think Kevin Garrett still has a pretty good chance. Ooh, he decides to stay in and just go for Flamethrower. Oh, and that misses, unfortunate. The last could realistically be Scizor, I doubt it, but it's a possibility. Heatran is also another good possibility as the last, although I would have suspected that he would have gone out to it by now. Oh, it is Heatran. Yeah, I'm thinking, because the Metagross got parried, I figured that Heatran would have come out a while ago on, like, Scarm and stuff. But yeah, now Blissey's taking some big damage from this. T-Wave comes out, though. Oh, and it doubled back to gross. Well, actually, no, you can't, because that Meteor Mash miss sucked, dude. Like, that sucked. It's giant dong. And now Scarftar is looking more dangerous. Blissey's also looking pretty dangerous, too, because, like, yeah, what's Metagross gonna do? Metagross, does it take another Flamethrower? I think it might. Depending on rules. But, I mean, Heatran just comes in anyway, but it's like, Fire Blast, that's hardest hitting move, is doing a third, so unless crits happen, then, you know, what's gonna happen, like, to Blissey, because it's T-Way soft-boiled. Yeah, there's the last move in Seismic Toss. So, like, what's E-Train gonna do? He's going for Earth Power right here. I have a feeling this is Scarf Train. It might not be Scarf Train, though. It could be, like, Willow or something. We know it's not an anti-stall set with, like, Magma Storm, Taunt Toxic, that type of variant. And there's a Spit F drop that he needs. Is he doing this for his Aptos? That's a possibility, but he has the Hip Out on sack. So I don't think that's going to benefit him long term. Yeah, I think Kevin Garrett just happened to outlast PttP just long enough with this Blissey. And things were looking kind of grim for him, but, you know, PttP just had the wrong sets at that wrong time. And Blissey is really fat, especially later in the game if you don't have anything to set up to beat it. And Kevin Garrett played it pretty smart. There's Explosion. Perhaps he was going for those Earth Powers, predicting like T-Tar or something earlier, trying to catch a T-Tar coming in on Zapdos maybe or something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. So yeah, the last is Gross. Here's Hippo. And yeah, Hippo's just going to be able to clean up right here. For the 2-0 and Kevin Garrett's, the 2-0 for Kevin Garrett. So congrats to Kevin Garrett for continuing to be the defense master in a metagame that has shifted slightly towards offense. But yeah, it was still nice seeing some Titans duke it out. Wasn't really anything too impressive, but wasn't anything too bad either. And hope you all enjoy, and peace.